Once upon a time, there was a kind old woman named Mrs. Rabbit who lived under a big fir tree in the middle of a quiet forest. She had 4 little rabbits, Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They were very small, with soft fur, tiny paws, and curious noses that twitched all the time. Every morning, the birds sang above their cozy home, and sunlight danced through the green leaves. Mrs. Rabbit loved her children dearly, but Peter was always a little more adventurous than the others. He liked to explore, climb, and discover new things, even when he was told not to. One bright morning, Mrs. Rabbit put on her blue shawl and said, "Now, my dear little ones, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but do not go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your poor father had an accident there," she added gently. "He was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor." The 3 good little bunnies, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, promised to stay in the fields and gather blackberries. But Peter, who was wearing his little blue jacket with shiny brass buttons, didn't listen. He hopped away from his sisters and ran straight toward the big wooden gate that led into Mr. McGregor's garden. The smell of fresh lettuce and carrots floated through the air, and Peter's mouth started to water. He squeezed under the gate and found himself among tall cabbages and rows of bright green beans. "Oh, what a wonderful place," he whispered to himself. He began to nibble on some lettuce leaves, then ate a few French beans, and finally tasted some delicious radishes. "This is the best breakfast I've ever had," he said happily. But just then, Peter heard a loud voice shout, "Stop! Thief!" It was Mr. McGregor, the gardener, running toward him with a rake in his hand. Peter was so frightened that he jumped up and ran as fast as he could through the rows of vegetables. He lost one shoe among the cabbages and the other among the potatoes. Without his shoes, Peter ran on all 4s faster and faster, but then he ran into a gooseberry net and got caught by the buttons of his blue jacket. He tried to pull himself free, but he was stuck tight. Big tears filled his eyes as he thought, "Oh no, my mother will be so sad." Just then, a group of friendly sparrows flew over him and chirped loudly, "Try harder, Peter, try harder." Peter twisted, pulled, and at last managed to break free, leaving his jacket behind. He dashed into the tool shed and jumped into a watering can, hoping Mr. McGregor wouldn't see him. But the watering can had water inside, and Peter got his feet all wet and cold. Suddenly, Mr. McGregor came into the shed, looking under every flower pot and behind every basket. "Where are you, little thief?" he grumbled. Peter sneezed. Achoo! And Mr. McGregor heard it immediately. "There you are!" shouted Mr. McGregor, running toward the watering can. Peter leapt out just in time, knocking over some flower pots as he escaped. He ran through the garden, forgetting which way was home. He saw a gate at the end of the garden, but it was locked. He began to cry again, feeling tired, scared, and wet. A friendly mouse appeared and offered him a little help, but Peter was too upset to listen. Then he found a hole under the fence. It was just big enough for him to squeeze through. With a great push, Peter was free. He ran all the way home without stopping once. When he reached the fir tree house, he was so tired that he went straight to bed. Mrs. Rabbit was worried when she saw his missing jacket and muddy paws. "Poor Peter," she said. "You'll have to stay in bed tonight. I'll make you some chamomile tea." Peter didn't say a word. He was too sleepy and too sorry for what he had done. Meanwhile, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had a lovely supper of bread, milk, and blackberries. Peter learned that day that it is always better to listen to his mother. From then on, he never forgot the smell of lettuce mixed with fear. He sometimes looked at the old garden gate and thought quietly, maybe adventure is not always fun. Yet deep inside, Peter's heart still dreamed of exploring, but a little more carefully next time. And so, in the peaceful forest, Mrs. Rabbit and her 4 children lived happily and wisely under the shade of their big fir tree.